You've probably heard me talk about the importance of preparing for postpartum. And I can talk for days about why preparing for life after birth is absolutely essential, a game changer, and is something that really does impact your foundation and then the kind of first weeks and months of your family and your baby and mental health, physical health. Like, I could go on forever. However, today I want to bring up something that was really kind of hammered home to me when I just went through my second early postpartum, and that is that the preparation for the birthday, the preparation for giving birth, for labor and delivery, is just as important, because with preparation for birth and delivery, we can optimize or do what we can do to influence having a birth that will have fewer complications and challenges in the early postpartum. And I'll explain through my own story. So when I was in my third trimester, I started meeting with my doula, who is also a childbirth educator and hypnobirthing instructor. And my husband Warren and I, we started doing a lot of practices around breathing. We started listening to affirmations, at least I did a ton, visualizations, I did a lot of meditating. I wrote out my vision for how the birth was going to go, prepared a birth plan, and mostly did a lot of practicing, which was so awesome for me because my doula taught Warren some comfort measures with massage and counter pressure and different positions that I could be in during labor that would help to optimize the baby's position, help to minimize my pain and discomfort. And so we did a lot of practice in advance. In fact, even one day, my doula Anna came over and we did kind of like a dress rehearsal of labor. And I smile because of course we never know and can control how it's actually gonna go, but based on kind of a vision of labor, we practiced resting on the couch, Warren doing some breathing with me. And so when labor actually started, I felt so at ease, so relaxed, and I knew what moves could help optimize the baby's position. Warren knew what comfort measures could make me feel physically better. Now, what did that lead to? It meant that I stayed relaxed and allowed for oxytocin to flow into my body, which could have, and this is all speculation, but there is some data that can back it up, that could have contributed to the fact that I had a much shorter labor than the average. I also had all of these comfort measures that Warren and then my doula could offer to me, such that I didn't immediately reach for any sort of pain relief medication or intervention, such as an epidural. Epidurals can be an amazing tool, but they are only one tool for pain relief, and they do have many more side effects than what doctors and many mainstream people talk about. They can impact our early recovery. So I didn't have an epidural. My body also, being in this relaxed state, moving in all these different positions, it really allowed for the baby to come down in a pretty in a great way, such that when I did actually go into the pushing stage, I was able to push my son out without having any tearing in my perineum or anywhere down there. Another big factor in the early postpartum experience. And because of all of these things, my first couple of days and weeks in my postpartum recovery were far, and I speak because this is my second pregnancy, so I had different experiences, but they were far smoother, and my body was able to recover at a much faster pace. When a woman is feeling stress, or she's in a situation where she doesn't feel safe in a medical environment, when interventions that maybe are not necessary end up happening, or when labor gets to the point where medical intervention like a cesarean birth is necessary, that all impacts recovery. Cesarean births, I mean, that's a major surgery, and there are multiple layers of your body that are cut open and require healing and regeneration afterwards. There's implications for how you can breathe and sneeze and cough and how much weight you can lift. I'm talking like the weight of your baby in the weeks following. It's a pretty lengthy recovery that is often at least in kind of common conversations, often overlooked. So preparing for birth, if you have an intention of having a lower intervention or a vaginal birth, it really does make a world of difference. Think about all other major life events that you have had where you've wanted to show up, or the process has invited you to show up as, in the best optimal way, to have an idea of what's to come. Think about, even if you've gotten married, you probably did a lot of planning for that wedding day, and you probably had at least one dress rehearsal. You probably practiced multiple times reciting your vows if you wrote them yourself, or tried on your wedding dress multiple times so you had enough idea for the fit and feel and movement. It's the same thing with your birthday, because it does allow for you to show up in a way that can lead to an easier recovery. Does that make sense? I don't talk about it so often because there is often a lot of fixation on the birth, but what I've noticed through recent interactions with several clients as well as friends is that having a fixation on the birthday, or fears around the birthday, or imagining the birthday is different than preparing for it, than actually going through and doing different practices, whether it's with breath or with physical movement, or through having different conversations or creating a birth preferences or birth plan sheet. Like, there's a difference between thinking about something and then actually allowing yourself to be prepared to show up. So with that, I'll leave you to think and reflect. And if you have any questions about the how for preparation, or if I can support you in any way with that, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can find me on Instagram at @bylizzie_, or on my website, www.lizzieleao.com. Thank you so much, and have a beautiful day.